Welcome to the show. It's deep with the twist. We're laughing through the scriptures where humor coexists. Cultural. Come on and take a seat. It's faithful and it's fun. Wherever it meets feet. Dive into the stories. Hear the podcast call. It's Mormon stuff with a smile in the cultural hall.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall, literally just off a plane. No, not Africa. Nope, she's in Utah from by way of Arizona. I would be exhausted if I flew as much as you did. It is Molly the Ash Ashton. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. I want you to, and you had not planned this, and you need to subscribe to the YouTube video to be able to see this. She has a map behind her. I would like it if you would please take a second and show us where you most recently were, and now show us where you are now.
I was here in South Africa.
Uh-huh.
Down here at the Cape of Good Hope is where I last was.
Did you have good hope? Did you have good hope in South Africa?
Yes, it was amazing. I can't wait to share. It was awesome. And now I'm in Utah. I was in Arizona for about 22 hours, and here I am.
Well, welcome back to the United States, and welcome back to Zion. That's really what's important. Thank you.
Really, it's so true. I'm so glad to be here. I love Utah so much.
It is funny to me. You are in town, that is Utah, for a couple of weddings and probably some sort of work stuff. We are even going to be in the same small township tomorrow, but we are not at the same wedding.
I'm dying. How is it not the same wedding? That stings.
I mean, it may end up being, maybe you've got your name wrong or I've got the name wrong, but the name that you sent me is not the name of the people that I'm DJing a wedding for. So if that wedding is no good, sneak on over and come see me.
I will. It's a pretty small part of the Utah. So
yes,
I'll find
extremely small.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Because I'm in Eden, Utah. For people who don't know the town we're talking about, I'm at the Wolf Creek, but that is not the name of the people that I am DJing for. I hope it's not a double booked situation, and then we're gonna find who was in that movie. Will Ferrell?
Yes, I just watched it on the plane. And Reese Witherspoon? No.
Yeah. Reese Witherspoon.
So
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I had never heard of it, and then it was on one of our flights, and I was like, "Oh, that was really cute."
Yeah. I hope it's not a double booked situation, but I hope you get a party. Here's the deal. Here's what I know about the party that I'm doing. Lots of alcohol, so no one will notice if you're not like actually invited. You could just come up and hang out if you want to.
I know there will be no alcohol at the one I am attending, so it's
Yep.
probably a different one.
Yeah,
but
very clearly not the same one.
yeah, not the same. But hey, today's an important day that we are taping. It is your birthday. Happy
Yep.
birthday.
Well, thank you for I don't care. I appreciate that.
I know. I heard your news with Verlin the other day talking about birthdays. I'm not a big birthday person either. I mean, if someone tells me happy birthday, great. If they don't, I don't care. I'm not offended. It is what it is.
Sure. I appreciate it. I have done some things to try and like what do you call it? Breathe life into my dead heart, I guess, over the years. Like last year, I crowdsourced a top hat. People paid me some money on Venmo. I think I said send me $2.12 for my birthday, because why not? And I bought a really nice top hat.
That's cool.
Yeah. I thought about doing it again this year, but then I was like, listen, I don't want people to think I'm a beggar. Not that there's anything wrong with beggars, but I did. You gotta change it up. So this year it is, tell me an experience or tell me your favorite experience with me. That is what I'm crowdsourcing, and I plan to reminisce later. I don't know. It's a birthday.
I like it. No,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
Yeah,
good.
it should be fun.
Are you working tonight? Do you have a gig?
I do not. I had 2 yesterday and I have 2 tomorrow, but none today.
All right.
So my wife and I are going to go see a movie. I'm going to go get really cheap sushi with my dad. I have already several times this morning said, "You're not the boss of me. It's my birthday." So
that is the one thing you can do. Even if you're not a huge birthday person, you can absolutely live it up on that day.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to do whatever you want.
Yeah, or not live it at all. You can just say, "Hey, will you come help me with this project?" No, it's my birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and do nothing.
I'll do it tomorrow. Just leave me alone for a minute.
Yeah.
Not that she did that. Not that there are projects aplenty going on. That is actually the thing. That is 100% what's going on. I need to know, you're back from South Africa. Can we just stay put for a minute? You're exhausting me.
I have 1 week. I'm not even put yet. I'll be home on Sunday. Then I go to Oregon. We have a family reunion. So
Okay.
I will be joining with my two sisters. I mean, maybe we should do an articles of news, the three of us together with you, Richie.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from Meredith. I need her to reach out to me. It's a pride thing at this point.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Okay.
I will let her know. But no, I'm yeah, but that's fun. I mean, I'll be at our beach house in Oregon. It's like we can be lazy and have fires and it'll be amazing. So
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
looking forward to that. I have to tell you, when I flew in today, I
Uh-huh.
ran into a pseudo celebrity in the airport.
Okay.
I don't normally say hi to people. Like I like to have like celebrity sightings, but I
Sure.
never go and say hi because I don't want to be a creeper.
Yeah,
Um,
we both know that's not true. You talked to the ladies of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and gave me the same precursor there. You are the one that likes to go, I never do this, and then sidles up to the people and then does the thing that everyone always does. It's fine. No judgment.
I
Just own who you are.
I was with my much younger girlfriend, and
Okay.
she's the one who said, Taylor. And I was like, well, are we
Uh-huh.
doing this?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I was there, but
Uh-huh.
it was Charlie Bird, and you know who
Of
Charlie Bird
course.
is, right? So
Previous guest of the Cultural Hall, his second book edited here and recorded here in the Homesteadman.
you're kidding.
No, I'm not.
I didn't know that. I would have mentioned that to him
Yeah.
that I'm on the
Yeah.
podcast today. I adore him and Ryan. Like, I just love them. And I saw them sitting there and I was like, wait, they're in Europe right now because I've been seeing him posting about being in Europe. So I went up to him and I said, I'm not a creeper. I just have to say hi because I adore you guys. And we talked for like 5 to 10 minutes just about travel and they're like, yeah, we're back. We didn't finish all of our posting. I get it. Like, I don't finish all my posting while I'm gone because you want to live in the moment. And it
Sure.
was really fun. They're the nicest guys. And I was like, are you sure you don't think I'm the biggest weirdo? They're like, no, it's so fun to see you. So that was kind of fun. I don't know. I always think I'm going to run into someone in the Salt Lake airport, like one of the, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or the Mormon wives or someone, but I never have until today. So that was fun.
The question that I have for you about Charlie Bird is, did you take old expired salsa out of a jar and spill it on his shirt and see if the and collar shirt? That's what I see Charlie Bird literally every time I open up my Instagram. It's like and collar, and it's always the shirt where he's throwing the salsa. Did he happen to have an and collar shirt on?
He did not.
Okay.
No, not today.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah. So anyway, I'm back. Back. South Africa was amazing. I love Africa. This is our second time going to Africa, and I would love to serve a mission somewhere in Africa someday.
I was just gonna say, you guys, you got the one that's what, 16 at home? What's your youngest one?
She's 14, so yeah,
14.
just a few more years.
Okay.
I mean, and yeah, so we loved it. We took our children. We found a great deal. Can I just put a plug in here because I know I travel a lot, like and whatever, but I do so very frugally. Typically, we use Travelzoo, and so this is for all your listeners that are like, I want to go and do fun things,
Right.
but it always seems overwhelming and expensive.
Sure.
Travelzoo is one of the best sites for vacations that we've ever used, and we've been on probably 8 vacations using Travelzoo. So we saw this safari come up, and for our entire family of 6 to do this safari all inclusive was less than my one safari I did like 3 years ago. And so I'm like, if I can take 6 of us to do this, it's kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. And so I'm very much about jumping on opportunities when they come because I don't know if we'll get that opportunity again, And so anyway, it was fantastic. My kids are so good. They love to travel. They love the experiences. And it's not lost on them that this is like a bucket list item that a lot of people will never do. And so they just soaked it in. They were up at 5 a.m. every morning on the game drive. Yeah, I mean, they were just loving it. So anyway,
Did you run into any church members, see any church buildings, any missionaries, anything like that?
We did. So we went to church in Cape Town after the safari, because when we're on the safari, we're like way away from anything and everything. We did talk a lot. I mean, at our little game lodge, there was only maybe 20 guests. And so you become friends with everyone. So we talked all about, my son talked about his mission, and
Oh, cool.
we met some guys who lived in Pennsylvania. And anyway, so that was fun. It's always fun to be able to interject little things into conversation. But we did go to Cape Town to go to church. We loved our experience in that ward, like so friendly. Interestingly, though, they had no chorister during sacrament meeting. Is that a
So
new thing?
they finally figured it out that we don't pay attention to the chorister, so we don't need one.
Yes. However, we needed one. Like, I'm
Oh,
like, what's going on? Because the organist would, when there's a note, I haven't played piano in a million years, but when there's that little circular thing where you can hold it as long as the chorister kind of decides to hold it,
sure. Yeah.
typically it's a little longer than like
Uh-huh.
one beat.
Yeah.
He was only holding those for like one beat. And I'm like, wait, this has got to be like 3 or 4 beats. And we're having to like catch up. It was
Yeah.
kind of weird. So that was funny. But that was great. We always, if we have the opportunities to go to church while we're in other countries, we absolutely do. And we saw many church buildings. I mean, we were in Johannesburg a few days. We went to the Johannesburg Temple. Well, we couldn't, they weren't available. There weren't sessions available. We didn't have time, but we went to the temple. And yeah, we probably saw 8, 5, 6, 7 church buildings just in
Cool.
our tours through driving around. And we didn't see any missionaries out in the wild. We only saw the missionaries at church, but
Okay.
both were from Lehi, Utah. The
Of
two
course
that
they
we
were.
Yep. And they're like, oh, there's a missionary from Gilbert, Arizona. And I'm like, what's his name? And they told me, I was like, oh, that's my friend's nephew. I didn't realize he was here. So small world, of course, but yeah.
So I have to ask you about that. Do you ever feel the guilt to buy the missionaries things when you see them out in the wild? Oh, you're buying groceries? Let me buy those for you. Oh, you're sitting at dinner? Let me pay for your meal. Do you do that?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I see them out, I'm absolutely buying them something. We didn't have that opportunity because we were just at church.
Could have paid their tithing for them.
We could have. That's a good idea. No, I love that. I love being able to do that just as a fun little thing. If we see them, we do that.
It's funny. I 1000% will do that anywhere else but in Utah. But in Utah, I just see like that they're probably just pocketing bank, and I'm just like, nope. You should be
Yeah.
buying mine. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, you should be paying for my meal because I know this meal's been paid for 10 times over. Well,
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
you.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, so it was fun. We were in Johannesburg. We went and I know you and Megan, my sister, discussed a little bit about the garments the other day.
Sure, Megan the Mitch. Let us be appropriate to her title.
Sorry. I know I should. I apologize to have taken that from her.
No, you're
So
Molly the Ash. And remind me again, Meredith is Meredith the what?
the simp.
The
Simpson.
simp. That's right.
And we are the McGuire sisters. I mean, it really,
it's too good all around. Anyway, sorry, you were in Johannesburg. Go on.
So, several people over the last couple of months have been coming out of the woodwork saying to me, literally, hey, you're the only person I know that might go somewhere in the world that is selling the new garments. And if
Sure.
you do, could you get me some?
Mm-hmm.
This literally has happened to me. And so I had a list of people to buy new garments for. And
No, wait, really?
I'm not kidding. Literally, I'm sitting in sacrament meeting. There's a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. That's what the girl says to me.
Yeah, hey, I know you're going to Johannesburg. I'm an extra small Karenessa, thank you. Like that kind of thing?
Yes, she didn't even know I was going to Johannesburg. She literally said, if anyone that I know is going anywhere in the world, it's going to be you. So if you happen to be going anywhere,
Sure.
We live in Arizona. So I feel like we have maybe a little bit of like we're a little bit ahead of other states in the country that maybe if we deserve to have the new garment.
Sure.
So anyway,
Okay.
no, but I got 2 text messages from random friends. If you happen to go anywhere this year, could you pick me up just one garment top? So I had quite the list of people, and we went, and they were sold out of every size
Of
below
course.
a size medium, which the girls all want. The smaller the size goes, the width of the shoulder strap gets narrower.
Sure.
So everyone wants an extra small or small. So I got some mediums and got some slips, which I heard you talking about the slip with
Yes.
Megan, or Megan the Mitch. The slip is the most heavenly thing to sleep in. I've now slept in it 2 nights in a row, and I will never sleep anyway ever again. So I hope you can make that happen for
Yeah,
yourself.
did you get me one? Did I need to text you? Is
wish I
that the
had
deal?
known. If I had
No.
known,
No,
I mean,
forget it.
I have an extra small one. I'm thinking it'll be a little too small for you,
Yeah.
but it is extra.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
anyway, so that was awesome. And you know what's interesting though about this whole garment thing is I am not one that actually even wants to wear tank tops. I'm not like I kind of my sisters and I were all blessed with not the best arms. Like it's just this thing, this family trait we
Listen,
have.
you are blessed with arms. That is the thing, but I understand what you're saying.
It's true. So it's not even for me a thing of like, oh, I want to be wearing tank tops. For me, it's just less fabric underneath is just so nice. And the fabric, the feel of it, it's breathable, it's moisture wicking, it's just a step up from anything we've had before. So it's exciting. I will say I had a few extra medium tops, and so on my ward group me, we have a really study group me. I was like, hey guys, I just went to Africa and I have 7 medium garment tops. Within 10 seconds, 7 people had texted me. I mean, I'm like, whoo, that was crazy. But
And you're
it's
like, and they'll be $50 a piece.
right. I know my husband's like, this could be a good business. But I will say, I don't have any desire to like buy out all of the garments that they had. I try to be very respectful about leaving plenty. They had plenty of the medium and above. So I didn't feel like I was buying all that they would need. They had plenty of slips. But the other thing that my husband didn't realize is he fell in love with the fabric and he bought all new bottoms and tops and everything. So I think it's really revolutionary as far as like that fabric goes for a lot of people. I think it's going to be great. But
I had an interesting conversation the other day with someone who said, here's an idea. And I said, I'm listening as I leaned in. And he said, tattoos, and then you don't have to wear any of it. And I said, I don't know that I'm opposed to it. And the deal is, if it's not modesty, which we preached for so many years, it is a remembrance of the covenants. Someone needs to make a case for me why getting tattoos in various places wouldn't be the equivalent.
yeah, that is a really good option, actually. I hadn't
Right?
thought about
Because
that.
then,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so hot. I guess the issue would be is then when you, like, for dudes, not necessarily for women, but when it's too hot and you take your shirt off, then you're like, hey, everyone, this is the team I'm on. I guess there's some part of that. I don't know.
That's an awkward
That,
conversation.
that could be. That could be. I don't know. Well, I'm mad that you didn't bring me back a slip, but that can be a thing for the future. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
If I go anywhere else in the world that has
yes.
them, I'll remember to get like an extra large slip. They're pretty
Whoa,
short. So not that
whoa.
you're big.
Watch it.
You're just
No. Okay, double extra large. Yeah, let's see. Let me say something like that to you and see how that goes. Does that go well? Does that make you
no.
feel good about yourself? Double XL?
I'm only thinking about the length and how you're much taller than I
Okay.
am, and
All
it's
right.
already quite short on me.
Yeah.
So we won't,
They've got to have the tall women slips.
Actually,
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
You're
Yeah,
right.
right?
They do. They have regular, petite, and tall. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
just
so I will get you a medium tall.
tall. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for recognizing I've been doing the work, as we
You've
say.
been
Thank you.
running
Yeah.
600 miles
And
this year.
and hiking and all the things.
Yeah.
I want to mention just a couple of things real quick. Next week there will be a crossover episode. Myself and Kurt Frankum from Leading Saints will be doing the news next week.
Awesome.
And part of the reason why we're doing it, and we'll mention this more, but I just want to make sure I get this out there. Nadine, I met Nadine and she said, Nadine, well, she didn't say Nadine. She said, I'm Nadine. I'll tell the story about meeting Nadine, but she wants more Kurt and I, so that's coming up. Someone emailed us, contact at theculturalhall.com. Are you aware of the YouTube channel Cultural Hall? Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah, so there was an anti-LDS channel called Cultural Hall, and he and I had a discussion, and then he sort of went the way of changing his name so that he would then just be Culch online, and now someone put out a bunch of his personal information and where he worked, trying to intimidate him to get off the internet, and he in fact did do that.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And someone emailed in to contact at theculturalhall.com thinking that we were the Culch, not
Mhm.
who we are. And her name is Morgan. And he says, Morgan says, I can't imagine what's going on, but what do you need for you and your loved ones? Appreciate you and let me know if you need anything. All the best. Morgan, you need the correct email address. So there,
That's
we
so
got that
funny.
email as well.
Hey, I'm going to agree with Nadine. I love your episodes with Kurt Frankham as well, but also my middle name is Nadine. So
Get out.
yeah,
You're a Nadine?
I am.
Okay.
Molly Nadine. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're not the simp. That's got to be the best. Meredith the Simp Simpson might be my favorite middle name of any of the McGuire sisters. And the McGuire sisters, here's a miss as we go into the actual articles of news here in a second. The McGuire sisters need to do something as a collaborative effort. Like if it was the 40s, you guys would be singers.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the McGuire sisters. Like there needs to be maybe you guys the traveling McGuires. That
Yeah,
would
we
be a
could do
thing.
that.
You could have a travel agency.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys all serve your mission in Africa together. Leave your husbands at home to fend with the kids, and you guys all go now. It's the McGuire sisters serving Africa. There's got to be something the McGuire sisters need to do.
Okay. We will work on that. We will definitely come up with something. I don't know. We should have done something years ago when we all actually like lived together and
Yep. Yeah.
could have,
But it's not too late.
you're right.
You have
It's never too
eternity
late.
with this family, so you don't have any excuse.
Yeah.
The
Very true.
McGuire sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, this show brought to you by the McGuire sisters. Also, I was going to say one other thing. Travel Zoo,
Yep.
powered by FOMO. That's how that is 100% what that site is powered by. Go and do this thing. The gift I got myself for my birthday, my wife has long said, I'm not buying you things. You don't like when I buy you things, and I don't like when people buy me things. I got online the other day and I decided because one of the shows that I wanted to see on Broadway is closing. I just hopped online and I said, I'm doing it. And I went click, click, click. It was not a frugal way of buying and booking travel and seeing shows, but I'm going to see 4 shows, 3 days, red eye out, coming back early in the morning, all the things. I'll do that in a couple weeks.
What shows?
Well, I'm going to go see Just in Time with Jonathan Groff, who it's a Bobby Darin musical. I'm going to go see Buena Vista Social Club. I'm going to go see Sunset Boulevard. And that's the one I wanted to go see because it's closing the week that I go out there. And I'm also going to go see The Great Gatsby on
The Great Gatsby was phenomenal. We see Broadway shows a ton, and I haven't. What's interesting is Sunset Boulevard just won a bunch of Tony Awards. It's crazy to me that they're closing because typically this is when they should ramp up people wanting to go. So that's so weird.
Yeah,
but it's so fun.
It's a lot. Sunset Boulevard is a lot. It's why you don't see it done very often. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's the most amazing, I think, for my money, better music than Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a huge Phantom fan, so I totally agree. Have you seen that they go outside and they do this whole thing where the play continues outside and they follow the actors down the streets? It's so fascinating. Like I'm so excited for you to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Cool. And the lead, she used to be the lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nicole,
and she's a Tony Award winner, though. She won the best thing. Is incredible.
She's
now
awesome.
We're 2 kids nerding out about theater shows. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to do actual articles of news. Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company, now 6 of us strong, great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second block of articles of news, this is when we finally shut up about theater things and we start talking about actual articles of news. Hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. It dawned on me today how difficult a position it is for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints leadership. I think that I recognize this on occasion, but it dawned on me today as I was thinking about they have released more hymns that will be in the hymn book. There was 11 new songs that were released, including Still, 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 that Christmas song, right? You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I totally do. Yeah.
So, you might say then, well, what, Richie, they're putting out songs. There's 375 songs. That seems to me like church leadership is great. I'm not being critical of church leadership. In fact, actually, I'm being fairly empathetic with this because they want the hymnal, as I understand it, to, be able to be symbolic of a worldwide church. They want it to bring people closer to Christ by singing hymns, whether they be Christmas, children, or otherwise. And I'm just calling it out now that it is going to be a bumpy road as we adopt one of the new church hymns.
Okay, which one?
It's called "I'm Gonna Live So God Can Use Me." Now, hear me very loudly. I love this song.
Mm-hmm.
And I welcome it so very much into the hymnal. So that's not anything like that. But it is an African American spiritual.
Right.
That is going to be sung, at least in the United States, in a largely non-African American audience that and this is where the empathy that I have for the church goes out. It will be it's so hard. It's so awkward. We should sing these songs. I love it. I love that they bring us to Christ. I love all of these things, but it seems like there's going to be a certain element of it where like maybe it borderlines appropriation or like we just don't do it well. So it seems disrespectful, but we're welcoming it into the hymnal. So I just hope that, this goes well. I'm glad that we're doing it, but I just have a whole lot of angst and feelings around the leadership of the church as they welcome this song in. And it is, I'm gonna live so God can use me. Like it is that.
It's an action. It's like a get up and raise your hands and let it be. I can picture my son's inner city Philadelphia award. They are going to be standing up and shouting from the rooftops. Like
yes.
But then I see my Gilbert, Arizona award, and we're going to be like singing it like we sing our other songs.
Live. I think it's great. Anything that can kind of push us to see music as a broader thing and cultures as a different thing, I welcome it. It's going to be a bumpy road. My favorite, as I was preparing for this news and I pulled up, and you can listen to all of the hymns, that are already in the hymn book, but all the ones that they've added, there are samples so you can hear it and kind of become familiar with it. And there's actually instructions about how you can become familiar with it with your ward and teach other people, whatever. I Bluetoothed it to the public speaker in our house, and I said, "Tell me," to my wife, who's not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, "tell me, do you think that this song feels like something that you're going to walk into a Mormon church and hear?" And I start playing it, and it was like, nope. So I welcome it. I'm excited. We'll talk about it. We're going to get back to doing the Hear hymns now that we've got a bunch that we haven't done. Awesome. Absolutely incredible, though. And one of 11 that were just added. Since I've started into the story, I might as well finish the rest of them. His voice as the sound is another one, because look unto Christ. The Lord's my shepherd. It's not the one that you're thinking of.
Okay.
Still. I'm a pioneer too. Read the Book of Mormon and pray. That seems very on the nose as far as instructional with the name of that hymn. As I keep the Sabbath day, O Lord, who gave thy life for me, I'm going to live so God can use me. And oh, how great is our joy.
Okay.
That's a Spanish hymn that is beloved among Spanish-speaking Latter-day Saints. It's Placentero nos es trabajar, that people would know. And you have to say it like that. Trabajar. I don't know.
You know what song I'm thinking of? Like This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Sure.
Is that in the hymn book yet? Like that seems like
Can we put it in there?
I think we should.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Yeah, I think yes, it is, isn't it?
It's I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Isn't it?
It is. It's
Is
hymn
it in our
number.
old?
No.
Okay.
It's in the new. It's one of the new ones that got added earlier this year,
Okay.
late last year,
We have not
1028.
sung that yet in my congregation, but I love that song.
So I just want us all to think about the sacrament meeting when we're this little light of mine, his
Mhm.
eye is on the sparrow,
Yes.
and I'm gonna live so God can use me. You
Yeah.
would walk in if you had left the church for 20 years and come back in and you'd go,
What?
what? Where is this? What is happening? And I love it. And I also feel bad for the bumps in the road that come along the way.
I know. You know, all credit to everyone who can play the organ, and I don't have that talent. Our organist, who has been the same for like 10 years, plays so slowly. Like
Mhm.
every single hymn is like, oh, come on.
Yep.
Anyway, I just hope that maybe on these songs she can learn to go a little faster because I can't picture us singing this little light.
You
Uh,
know, if you want a difference, Molly, maybe you be the difference.
should I learn how to play the organ at my
Yeah.
old age, 46? I don't know if I have that in me,
Dun,
but
dun, 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 dun. It's harder than you think, too. That's why I never am critical of people that
I,
do anything like that, because
I
I
know.
always go, not me. I'm not
I
doing it.
know. I know. I try not to be critical. But like once a year, I'm like sitting there going, this is supposed to be like
Yep.
exuberant, and we're
Yeah.
singing like we're at a funeral.
Yep. Everything is a funeral dirge.
Yeah.
If you could hide, what are this is going to be the entire sacrament meeting if we don't bump this thing up a little bit. Let's
Yep. Yep.
Okay, you said that you had news, very important news that you wanted to make sure that you got mentioned. That is why on my birthday you demanded a news episode. Let's go. What is the news that you have? Tell me one of them.
Okay, one of them is, of course, our good friend Lori Vallow Daybell. She
Okay.
had her second Arizona trial. It concluded just in the last day or two. This trial was the attempted murder of her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux. So we know that she was already found guilty of the conspiracy and the killing of her ex-husband and
Charles, right?
Charles. Yep. And this one, she was convicted. She was found guilty. The jury only deliberated for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're like, and honestly, I know that, I mean, have you been on a jury before?
I've never been on a jury. I don't think I've ever actually even been called to jury duty.
Really?
Yep.
I love it. Like people think it's so weird. Every time I get called to jury duty and I call and they're like, we don't need you, I'm like, dang it. But I was actually on a jury one time and it was fascinating. The whole process was fascinating. But you know that those jurors, you can't get a juror that doesn't know who she is or has never heard of
Sure.
it. You know what I mean? I mean, you just can't. And I'm sure they were like, we know she's guilty, you know, anyway. But what's interesting about this one is the Boudreaux were in my stake. And where this attempted murder happened was literally like half a mile from my house. And I know exactly where they live. It's just so weird these things were happening and we didn't know. I mean, I had no idea he was involved with her at the time, you know. And
Mhm.
anyway, but what's interesting, so she was found guilty. She will be sentenced at the end of July. I don't think, has she been sentenced yet for the other?
For
Anyway,
Charles,
I
I
know in Idaho she's been sentenced to life in prison. I think she has multiple life sentences. But what's interesting is people were saying, like, why did they even go through with this? She already has multiple life sentences. There's no reason to try her for this attempted.
justice.
Right. And that's exactly what Brandon said. He said, you know, there's people who never had the opportunity to actually see justice served and fulfilled. And for those people, it needed to happen. And for forgiveness to happen, like we had to go through the motions and had to make sure that, that it was, you know, that she was held accountable for what she did. So as far as I know, that's the last we're going to hear about her until sentencing end of July. And then she'll be spending the rest of her life in jail. So
Yeah, as I understand it, she'll be sentenced for Charles as well at the end of July. Both of
yes,
them will be
yeah,
at the same time.
yep, exactly. And I don't know exactly how that works, if she will go to Idaho or will she just stay in Arizona to carry out all of her sentences? Like, I don't know how that works. So
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
don't know
interesting.
how it works either. And if you get to choose, it's like you're looking at the jails in Idaho compared to the jails in Arizona. You're like, well, listen, a little bit more, a couple more square feet, softer bed. I'd like a little warmer temperature. They keep it a little warmer down there. I don't know. I
Yeah,
would imagine because she's never getting out, it almost doesn't matter. But
right,
maybe because maybe financially speaking,
right.
because she's in
Taxpayer.
Arizona, maybe they switch it or they
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like they go
right.
a little time here, a little time there, or people of here pay for a little bit to the people there. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know how that works.
yeah, I
Contact
don't.
culturalhall.com if people know how that is.
Yeah.
I was just reminiscing. I have never served on a jury before, but I have been asked to testify as part of a case, and it's because of the cultural hall that I got involved in it.
Really?
Yeah.
What can you say anything about it?
Yeah, there was a woman who, this is probably, I don't know, maybe right around a decade ago, maybe
Okay.
right around, let me think, when did President Nelson come in? 17, 18?
Yeah, 2018, I think.
Yeah. It seems like it's been a little longer than that, so maybe it wasn't then. Um, anyway, there was a woman who got up during general conference and was like, "You are allowing pedophiles into the church and all of these things," right?
Yeah.
Just interrupted general
Wow.
conference when they said, "Hey, if you wish to speak now, you know, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
They mostly just say, "Talk to your stake presidents. We're not going to ask for you to share your commentary right now." So
Right.
it was part of that change. So when that person, because something that they did within that interruption made it illegal, I had to go and be a part of the court case because I interviewed her afterwards and said, "Oh, you're the person who interrupted. Tell me why you did it. Tell me, you know,
Yeah.
were you trying to this? Was the motivation this?" We just had a conversation around that interruption, and they used my episode with that person as part of evidence, and it
Wow.
was so nerve-wracking. When you talked to this person, did you this? And I was like, can you rephrase the question so I know what you're like? It was, it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was
That
crazy.
I can imagine. Now, did you interview her because of that interruption, or
Yes.
was there
Yeah.
another? Okay, so that was
Yep.
the full reason.
Yep.
Interesting.
I
It's really
said, "Hey, you heard about that interruption in general conference? We tracked down the person, and now we're going to find out what it is."
very. I want to listen to that episode. Do you have any idea what number it is?
In the show notes,
Yeah,
eventually. We'll get
perfect.
there. We'll get there.
Perfect.
It also, I think, was a Facebook Live too that we made into an episode. So I'll find it.
Okay.
I will find it.
Yeah.
It will be available in the show notes, and people can listen to it. And then inevitably, people can go, "I can't believe you give that person a platform to be able to share their." It's like, or I could just be finding out why they did it. Nope, it couldn't possibly be anything but the thing that I think it is. Shame on you. Hatred, hatred, hatred.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
You gotta love people.
Yeah. Your other news issue that you wanted to make sure that you brought up so that we had an episode on my birthday. I was partying and celebrating, but we had to, I'm kidding.
Yes. I just,
It's
whatever.
no,
Anyway.
I
Yeah.
literally
So,
don't care. It's perfectly fine.
well, I thought you would want nothing more than to hang out with me on your birthday. That's really
It is a birthday gift to myself to be able
good.
to come here and hear about all the cool places that you've traveled and be able to visit and spend an hour of time with you. You are the gift. What's
Oh,
the
thank
other
you.
story?
Very tragic. There was a plane accident on Sunday, right outside of San Diego. It was a small plane carrying six people from Arizona. They were from the Gila Valley, Safford, Thatcher area,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, I think 99% of those towns are LDS.
Oh,
And so,
really?
yeah, it's very much settled by, the LDS people, and everyone knows everyone else. And so and what's interesting is just less than 2 weeks prior, I don't know if you remember, there was a small plane that crashed into a neighborhood in San Diego, killing six people. Then this one happened, killing all six people. And it is just actually so heartbreaking. It was a father, Jeremy Bingham, and his three grown adult sons.
Mm.
He had given them tickets to a comedy show for Christmas, and this was the weekend they were going out to the comedy show. And then it was the other two on board were Landon and Tori Baldwin. Landon was the pilot. He was 28. His wife, 8 months pregnant. They have two children at home. And it's interesting, and I'm particularly interested in these smaller plane crashes, mostly because one of our best friends, their son works for me. He just became a pilot and is flying the small planes all the time. Small planes terrify me. Like,
Yeah.
I fly a lot. I mean, if I tried to count up how many flights I've been on in the last 2 weeks, it's probably 15 or more just with all of our connections.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if I'll ever go in a small plane. And that all, do you remember when like Stephanie Nielsen and her husband were in that plane
Sure.
crash? I mean, that was like a big one. I feel like it's happening all the time. And I was reading a report about this particular one. There hasn't been a lot published as about what happened, but I read a report where it said that this pilot was maybe inexperienced and had just finished some recertification and hadn't flown in a while. And it said that the fog was so thick that even for an experienced pilot, this would be a tricky situation. And so the assumption is that I mean, I just listened to a recording this morning of him calling Mayday, Mayday, and then they lost signal. So it's really, really heartbreaking. And this community has been completely turned upside down by the loss of these 6 people. And tomorrow night, Saturday, they are having a big celebration of life at the high school there with a procession to the State Center. And what's also interesting, though, they didn't recover any of the bodies, but haven't really recovered the plane either, which
Hmm.
I find so interesting. It crashed into the ocean, and how do they not find it? It's weird. But anyway, just really heartbreaking and sad. There was another one maybe 6 months ago in Mesa, a plane crash right at takeoff. They're going, I think, to a BYU basketball game. So it was a whole
Geez.
group of young men. And it was actually my BYU bishop's son who was the pilot. And his son was the only survivor. He jumped out of the back of the plane and survived. So
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm curious your thoughts on these small planes. Are we just hearing about these things more? Do they happen more often than we know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It scares me.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big plane too. I want to say in Indonesia or somewhere that crashed. There was one survivor of that. I mean, it wasn't a full. I think it was a Boeing, like a
Yeah.
787 or something like that. One person survived there. Is it?
240 people on
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it happening more, or are we just hearing about it? I think it's still far more safe to, statistically speaking, to fly in a plane rather than drive.
Right. Right.
But I, I mean, it certainly has you go, I'm not so sure. The small
Yeah.
planes are scary.
Yeah.
The only time
Yeah.
I've ever ridden in a small plane is when I jumped out of it, and so that's two
Oh,
times in total.
yeah.
And I think it's my feeling that if you are in a small plane, even if you're not going up to jump out of an airplane to skydive, you should
Yeah.
still be issued a parachute.
Right.
Just because it is a small plane, like it should come
Yeah.
with it, and it's like in case of emergency, here you
Yeah.
go. You're gonna do this.
Literally, like strap it to yourself
Yes,
while you're
yes,
flying.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like here's your
Yeah.
sack of peanuts, here's your Biscoff, and also here's your parachute that is pre-packed. Good luck. Hope you don't have to use it.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, it's scary. It's tragic when you hear about these. It's triumphant. You mentioned Stephanie Nielsen when people are able to survive and be able to build an incredible life and be able to share their story afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm not any more inclined to get on a small plane anytime soon. There are places that it makes sense. Alaska, it seems to make sense to get around that place. Sometimes some places in the Pacific Northwest, but no thanks
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah, I think more and more I'm going to continue to avoid them. But speaking of that Air India crash and the one survivor, I mean, do you ever hear of a commercial airline crash where anyone survives? I mean, they don't happen all that often. The fact that we've had 2 commercial airline accidents in the last 4 months is a little bit crazy.
Hmm.
But the fact that this guy, I saw an interview with him, he was holding his boarding pass still. He called his family as soon as he escaped. Like, how did 240 people all perish and this one person came out with scrapes? It's
Right.
absolute miracle. Like
Yeah.
I I mean, I believe in miracles. And I was talking to a girlfriend last night. It's like he was saved for something. It's just remarkable.
Yeah.
And anyway, it gives me chills thinking about and seeing the interviews with him. I just don't even understand it. That one, anyway, I don't know, but I agree with you. I mean, still plane air travel is still more safe, but it's the fact that when the accident happens, it's a lot of people that are affected and that are killed. Where, car crash, it's usually only a few. But anyway,
Uh,
just a sad story out of Arizona for those members there. And yeah.
I want to talk about Arizona, but in a different part of Arizona. Do you know where
Okay.
Short Creek is?
Short Creek. Isn't that where way up north where the polygamists
Yes.
were? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Nestled in the rust-red cliffs of the Utah-Arizona border, Short Creek's faith community is poised for a significant evolution. I think the story very flowery written, flowery,
Flowerly. Yeah.
flowerly written. A new chapel is under construction in Colorado City, Arizona, by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Slated to open later this year, it is the first of its kind to be built by the mainstream Latter-day Saint church in a community formerly dominated by a polygamous sect. So here's the thing. Let this be the beacon warning to everyone. You know, you've been to Zion National Park before.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been to why can't it? Hurricane,
Uh-huh.
the
I've
town
been
of
to Colorado
Hurricane.
City.
Yeah, you've been to
I've been-
Colorado City. Now, here's the deal, though. St. George, everyone flocks to St. George, and now it's a huge city, and there's all the things there, right? Then
yeah.
Hurricane became the thing, and you go, Hurricane is the thing, and now everyone could be there, and Leeds, and all that. Short Creek slash Colorado City is still affordable
Mhm.
for views and for the look of things. It is better. It is like your backyard is like the Red Cliffs of Moab, like the backdrop. It's like living in Springdale around Zion National Park. It is that gorgeous and that much access. And for the longest time, it has been an undesirable place because people are like, it's weird.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
among the polygamists is weird. It is changing, and in the next 10 years, it will be completely different. And this is one of the signs of that changeover. Mainstream LDS Church building a chapel in the actual town, and people are going to go. They're going to see it. They're going to say this is less weird. Property
Yeah.
is still affordable there, and it is going to, like a rose from the desert, rise from the. It's going to be crazy, guaranteed. Market,
You
invest,
are,
all the
yeah.
things.
Well, it's interesting. You're predicting this, and I think you're totally onto something. And we were actually looking at buying a VRBO in Hurricane last year. Maybe we should look into Short Creek and Colorado City.
You should 1,000%, 1,000% you should, because it's not that far.
No,
It's
I mean,
stigmatized that you feel like it's forever far away and like way weird and out in the boondocks. It's not,
it's not.
and
Well,
it's at least half as
interestingly,
much.
it's probably closer to the entrance of Zion than like St. George's.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
when it all comes down to, I mean, I've done some amazing hikes right there, right outside of Colorado City. So this could be a really good long-term investment.
Yep, 2%. That's all I ask. If you do it, Molly,
Okay,
you have to give me 2%,
you got it.
and that will be the actual birthday gift, not just spending time with you. Uh,
No, it's really fascinating. I hadn't heard about that. So I think that's really kind of cool.
Yeah, so I think I've told this story before. I'll tell it briefly. About 5 or 6 years ago, my friend Lindsay Hansen Park, who, if people follow any of the stuff she does online, she consulted for Hulu's Under the Banner of Heaven and some of
Oh,
these other
right.
projects. She had me come down to Short Creek and DJ a prom for people that were in the polygamous sect, but then had found their way out of it. But because they couldn't listen to music and couldn't dance as teenagers, it was like a second chance prom. And so
Oh,
I went into
cool.
Short Creek and we did this. It was an amazing experience, full of tears and all of these different things.
Aw,
Loved it. An absolutely just beautiful, beautiful experience. It is just amazing down there.
that's
And
really cool.
my mind has been towards that since then. So
I
um
would, could I tell you really quick my one experience? Well, I've driven through Colorado City several times, but I was on a girls' trip probably 10 or 15 years ago, and we just wanted to drive down the streets. And at the time, Warren Jeffs, I don't think had even been arrested yet. So I think he was very much still a part of the community. And we just saw like little kids' faces peering out of every which way, just watching us. I mean, there were cars just watching us drive. It was a little bit creepy. It's definitely gotten better since Warren Jeffs has been
sure.
gone from the community. But yeah, so
and
interesting.
it's changing over. So
Yeah,
get in, get in
that's really
now. And
that's
as
really
you look at it, as you do your research, because I know you to be one that will research those kind of things, tell me
Mhm.
how right I am as far as the difference of price when you
I
start to
will.
get into it. I would
I
love to
definitely
know
will. Yeah, I'll let you know.
the sentence. Tell me how right I am. Jeez, what kind of guy. All right, let's get into some just random kind of news here. Elder Baby Gorgeous is back. Who's that? That's Jack Barlow. The
Oh, he's back?
Yeah, he's back from his mission already. This is one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, Lisa Barlow's son. He is done. He's
Yeah.
been crowned Elder Baby Gorgeous.
Okay. Elder baby gorgeous. I love it. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. He made it the whole 2 years. I think he came home for a little bit
Yeah,
for
some
some
health
health.
concerns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good for him. I'm excited that he's made it home, and that's awesome.
This one I thought was interesting with the interviews of the Secret Lives. I wanted to talk with someone about this, and I think you are the person to talk about it. Zach and Jen.
Yep.
Jen talking about how she got pregnant and how she had her IUD removed and just didn't tell her husband about it.
Really?
Uh, yeah, yeah, that's one of the interviews that's come around about this. Um,
Wow.
he, so two things that I want to talk about. This particular thing, and then I want to talk about the show as a larger whole. I she then said oopsie, which I think is interesting. Here's what I don't think is hopefully at all representative of our culture, but also at all appropriate. I can't imagine being a partner with someone in life, in planning and all this, and it'd be like if I went and got a vasectomy and
Right.
then years later I tell my wife, "Oh yeah, no, I did that." Wait,
Yeah.
what? Why?
This is not a decision you make on your own. Like this
Yeah,
is absolutely a joint decision. If
yeah,
you That's really weird. And so did she have it removed then before this third pregnancy? Like when
yes,
they were already, things were kind of rough between the two of them. And she
right,
decides that's the moment to have this thing removed and not talk to her estranged husband for all, intents and purposes.
yeah,
It's weird.
yeah.
Huh. I mean, what more did she say in that interview? Did she say anything more about it? Did Zach say if that angered him? Was he surprised?
I mean,
Like,
if yeah, I guess I'm just projecting things. It seems unresolved, and at very minimum, what an unhealthy kind of relationship. Now, this leads me to sort of the bigger conversation that I want to have around this. This may be our last story. Who knows? I have heard more people talking about how Secret Lives season one, I felt like was representative of who we are as a people. And now I think it's just gone overboard into the drama for reality TV's sake. And I just want to dial everything back like a year ago when the first season came out and when everyone was like, this is not who we are. This is not like it just seems
right,
like we have forgotten or we have been, driven to this point of like trying to find the positive thing because that's
right.
the kind of people we are. But so
Yeah,
many people like, yeah, I mean, season one, they really were about fighting the patriarchy and finding a woman's voice and all that. And it's like, no, it was just as bad. It was just not as many episodes and
right,
not producer driven. Am I
right.
crazy?
No, you're exactly right. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. I think it's almost like because this season has been way more drama and just more bad language and just a little more shocking. We
Hmm.
then can be like, oh, okay, well, actually, season one was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
portrayal. I heard a comedian the other day. I think his name's Kevin. I don't know. He's this black guy, and
Okay.
he's like, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I mean, he's not LDS or has anything to do with it. He goes, I didn't see those ladies going to church. I didn't see them taking of any sacrament. I never saw them pick up a Bible. He's like, my wives, they're not Mormon wives. I mean, it was hilarious to hear
Yes.
this guy's take on like, yeah, you're right. You're right. And I mean, he fully like is like they're using the Mormon name just to
Yep.
draw the viewership and whatnot. And it really is, I was listening to when you and Verlin were talking about this, and I think he ended up only watching maybe half of the episodes of this
Hmm.
season.
Hmm.
I think in for all intents and purposes, he's like, it was disgusting. Like, I don't want to keep watching this. And
Right.
he was able to watch through all of season one. And I kind of feel the same way. I felt more and more like, oh, this is gross. Like, but also it's a train wreck I can't turn away from because I have that issue. I like to see these hot messes,
Yeah.
and it's the voyeurism, I guess, a little bit. I don't know, but definitely I think it is interesting that we've turned that page as so well, actually season one, they were very representative of women and in the church, but no, they
Yeah.
weren't, never were.
A fun little thing that I found the other day. I don't know if it's because I'm friends on social media with Taylor Frankie Paul's parents, or if it's by some other way. but I am able to see any sort of payment that Taylor Frankie Paul does on Venmo.
Venmo.
Hmm. And
That's,
maybe anyone can do it, but I went down a rabbit hole the other
oh
day.
no.
Yeah, it's very.
What was there some good stuff on there?
She sent her dad some money and said, "Keep it. Don't send this back to me. Keep this." I just.
Well, there's so many stories you can make up when you see those Venmo payments,
Yep. Yep.
Like if anyone looked at my husband's Venmo in the last 3 days, they'd see about 30 payments that had something to do with underwear
Oh
because
yeah.
all of my garment girlies were Venmoing him for their underwear. So
That's a great name, by the way, for the company, Garment Girlies.
garment girlies, yeah.
Yeah, trademark it. Make a small fortune. You know what? You could even do it as a thing where you're like, I'm not making the money, but money is being made, and then you are able to donate garments to third world countries or something like that. Garment Girlies, I'm telling you.
Great plan, actually. Very good nonprofit I could
Yeah.
form.
Thank you. We take advantage of the people that are advantaged.
Yes.
It's like a little Robin Hood thing. We do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um, There is one last story that I wanted to bring up, and this is I'm going to put you on the spot. So be ready to be put on the spot, but not to worry. I haven't thought about this either, so we're going to workshop crowdsource this together.
perfect.
The Salt Lake Tribune has asked, who belongs on an LDS Mount Rushmore? So that would be four figures faces. Who would belong on an LDS Mount Rushmore? I would be curious. There's a couple I feel like pretty obvious ones. I feel like two are pretty obvious,
Yeah.
and then two you start to go for it. So I would love to know who your four would be. Let's eliminate two of them because two of them will be both of ours. So you only have to pick two. It's less
Okay.
on the spot. Tell me
Okay.
if you disagree with this, but you obviously have Joseph Smith and you obviously have Brigham Young.
Brigham Young.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. We got the two. So then beyond that, I guess it really for me, it just has to do with my life and the ones that have been most effective in my lifespan that I would know more. For me, it would be Hinckley and Nelson.
Okay. Now it
And
doesn't have to be prophets. I want to expand to where it doesn't have to be prophets. It just would have to be members of the church. Uh,
I
that
think it would for me it would still be prophets.
Yeah.
I can't think of any member of the church that I would hold to that sort of esteem, I guess, that Mount Rushmore would. I mean, would we put a woman on there? Like I just
Yeah.
don't. For me, it would be prophets.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, tradition would because the Mount Rushmore would have no women on it that we would
Right.
maybe not think to. But I'm gonna push you past that.
Okay.
You said Hinckley and Nelson. I'm gonna say my third, maybe largely symbolic because I love the example that she set. I think that if there is a woman throughout time that people can look to and all the different things like that, I think Martha Hughes Cannon, the first woman state senator, she's the one who beat her husband
Right.
when she ran, leader in the Relief Society, I believe, early on, like all sorts
Yeah.
of kind of things as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And then I think my fourth one, I think the McGuire sisters would be my fourth one if I could get a three-headed
All
McGuire
three of our
sisters. Yeah. No, my fourth one, I'm probably a Hinckley. I'm
Yeah.
probably that would maybe be who a case could be made for like a Lowell Benyon or a Leonard Arrington, someone that it was
Yeah.
sort of revolutionary as far as that goes.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like my day to day who I would have be up there. Yeah.
I mean, Hinckley is he's the best.
Well, and it's a smile, right? Because you'd have
Yeah.
smiling Hinckley on the Mount Rushmore.
Now, how about Hinckley and Marjorie Hinckley? I mean, they're
Okay.
the cutest.
Okay.
They together could be up there.
Okay.
I love her.
It's an interesting discussion. Contact at theculturalhall.com. Maybe we are being completely blind to some suggestions. I would love to hear from folks. Who would be your four? And if you reject one of our first automatic two, tell me why. I'm open to that. I'm certainly open to that. But who would be your 4? And then I'm going to take it one step further than the Salt Lake Tribune. What would you call it? What would you call your Mount Rushmore? Would it be,
Mountain.
yeah.
Mormon Mountain.
More
No, we can't use Mormons anymore.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Mountain.
Okay, really quickly, who was the prophet when the priesthood was given to blacks?
Kimball, President Kimball.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like maybe people that were the leaders when significant things and changes happen. I could see some people saying no to Joseph Smith. I don't know. I mean,
Sure.
I'm not going to go there, but yeah, it's a really interesting question. I'm going to have to talk to my husband and kids, and we'll make that a dinner discussion.
Make sure that you submit what each of them say. Contact at theculturalhall.com. And maybe if you make the case that if Joseph Smith is already recognized in other ways, I could see that case being made. Brigham Young in other ways as well. Maybe we wipe the slate and say can't be prophets. Give the qualifier of what it would be. 4 people, and give the qualifier who would be on your Mount Mahonri. That is, I don't know what you would call it.
I like that.
Contact at theculturalhall.com. And then, of course, if we want to get super in the weeds, where would it be? Where would our Mount Mahonri be? Is it in Utah? Does that make sense? Is it in Independence? When they're greeting us as we pull our hand carts back. Tell us where, what, all the things. Contact at theculturalhall.com. We've come to now my favorite part of every episode with you. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
And if you weren't well enough to listen this week, you'll be well enough next week.
Okay, I'll take it. That was good. You said it with disdain, so that's fine. And that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, and the Tiger with a U will be saving a seat for you
on the back row
of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row. We really gotta go on the Cultural Hall show.